Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahawashi, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. I want to say Shalom to Yaakov Nakloth out there, doing this true diligently, coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one, another edition of what does it really mean? Today, we're dealing with the word saved or salvation. All right, most primarily dealing with the word saved. Okay. And but as I was going with it towards the end, I went ahead and I just threw salvation in there because I wanted to look into that as well. We're gonna do that, Lord willing, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi. I got a couple of Reddit articles open as well. I got a Google search of what's the difference between saved and salvation, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we're gonna get started up with that. Give me just one moment, just a second here. All right, so we're back at it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So where do we want to start? So really, the idea for this is that you hear these Christians a lot of the time. They say, "Oh, I'm saved. I'm saved. You know, I'm saved through Jesus Christ." Right? You'll hear them talk that, but they're not really saved yet. Right? Saved is you're safe. Okay, you're not safe yet. Okay, we're not safe yet. All right, Lord willing, we're safe. All right, but these people are saying, "Oh, we're safe." Saved, you know, if we, you know, like right here, we got the word, let's hear it pronounced. All right, this is in the Greek. This is the word you'll most commonly see used for saved. All right, at least in the New Testament.
Strong's G 4982. Sozo.
Sozo. All right, and literally means to save, to keep safe and sound, to rescue from danger or destruction. And you can go on and get the other ones. You can get one or two. To save in a technical, biblical sense. All right. Preserve one who's in danger. B, to preserve one who is in danger, to save or rescue, or to save a suffering one from perishing, i.e., an example, one suffering from disease, to make well, heal, restore to health. To save, you know, to save from injury or peril. The big peril, or peril, the big peril has not happened yet. All right, serious and immediate danger. All right, peril. It doesn't always mean immediate. All right, but it says archaic, to expose danger or threaten. A threat. Okay, the big threat has not happened. All right, Armageddon, all right, as is called in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon, has not occurred yet. Okay, and that's the big threat. All right, that's the big danger. That's the big destruction. Okay, that's the big peril. Okay, so you're not saved. I'm saved. No, you're not. You're not saved. Not yet, you're not. Okay? You'll hear Christians talking that madness all the time. I'm saved. I'm saved. I'm saved through the blood of Christ. You're not saved. You haven't been delivered yet. Saved is synonymous with delivered, all right, or saved, all right, or salvation, all right? Now, they don't really use it like that. Christians use saved as in, you know, they try to use a couple different scriptures. I can't remember which one it is. You know, they try to get Ephesians 2 and 8, or they try to get Romans 10 and 13, or some even John 3:16, right? But that's not talking about an instant, you know, instant situation. It depends on the situation. For example, you can be saved from a peril if you call upon the name of the Lord. For example, if, you know, you have a train not convening, but what's the word? Anyway, if you have a train plummeting towards you, all right, and you pray to the Lord, all right, the Lord can stop that train from hitting you, all right, and you can be saved in that sense. But you just sitting around, all right, saying, I'm saved by Jesus Christ, from what? From what? Death? You haven't been saved from death yet. From what then? From sin? Well, you're still sinning. All right, you guys, especially you Christians, you're out there continuously eating unclean animals. That's sin. All right, you're promoting homosexual identities. That's sin. Okay, you're worshiping an idol. All right, i.e., Jesus Christ. All right, who is not the Son that the Bible speaks of, even though you see the name Jesus in the Bible. That's a false translation. All right, and his name is really Yahawashi. There was no J's in Hebrew. Okay, and the J wasn't invented to 1520 4 through 6, around that, that age era. You can look it up, right? So his name couldn't have had a J in it. And even before the modern Bible, there wasn't a J. All right, it was Iesus in the 1611. And what I mean by the modern Bible is the regular King James and not the 1611 King James. Okay, they reformatted some things. Notably, they took out, the reprints don't have it, but it was originally an old English font, a black letter font. You can look that up if you look up the 1611. Originally, the format was like this, right? Which again could be harder on the eye. I actually want to find a copy like that because I think it looks cool, and I like Old English. I like black letter fonts. But notably, they changed that. Okay, they kept the spelling, all right, like of Psalms and whatnot, because again, the S used to look more akin to our modern day F, all right, just like a regular F. They didn't have the little loop on the bottom, at least for the lowercase, all right. Now the capital you can see with Psalms here, you can see it's the regular S we're used to, but the lowercase used to look different. Now our lowercase s is just really an uppercase S made smaller. That's all it really is. Modern changes to the English language. But, they made some changes. But if you look in the 1611, if you look it up, let's see, this one doesn't have it. But if you look up the word Jesus, it will not appear at all in the 1611 Bible because there was no J's. All right. But if you look up Iesus, all right, you will see plenty. All right. Or what I meant to do is you look up Jesus here. All right. Well, it switched us over to the regular Bible. 1 minute. If I go here and I look up Jesus, there's nothing. If I look Iesus, all right, you'll see it. And look, Joseph is Ioseph, all right, and Jacob is Iocob or Iocob, right? And then Iesus, right? So really, Jacob is again, but this name is really pronounced Yahushai. All right, and I can't remember the pronouncing of Joseph, but I know Jacob is Yaquab, okay, Yaquab. So Jacob, let me see if it, in modern Hebrew, come on now. They say Yaakov, it's not, it's Yaquab, but or you'll see Yaakov or Jacob or anyway. They say Yaakov and it means supplanter, right? Or following after. Yeah, as is according to their language, but their language is just Yiddish, right? It ain't actual factual Hebrew, right? But so let's get back into here. So yeah, they talk about being saved, but they haven't been saved from what is to come. Right? If you were using a sensible, I was saved by the Lord, from, here it was out in the world, you were shooting up in heroin, you overdosed, and you called upon the Lord, because you heard, one week before you walked by the Hebrew Israelites and you heard the name Yahweh Shem Shai, and in your desperation you called out to that name, saying that must be the name, I've never been helped before. He could have saved you from that, all right, and you were saved from that, but you are not saved in the overall sense, because saved in overall sense means that you were delivered. Okay, saved is synonymous with delivered. Okay, delivered from what? The death and destruction that is yet to come. Okay, so no, you're not saved. All right, that's why I wanted to make this lesson, because you hear people say, oh, I'm saved. No, you're not. You're not saved. Okay, saved is synonymous with salvation. All right, let's go synonymous. What does that mean? Okay, same or nearly identical meaning. So it's synonymous. All right, which means it's pretty much the same meaning. Saved, salvation. All right, saved is the quality of being saved from something, and salvation is being delivered from a situation, i.e. saved. Okay, so for example, right here, Exodus 14 and 13, it says, and Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. Okay, so they were saved from that situation. They were saved. They were delivered out of that situation. Essentially, those Israelites were saved all right, or were shown salvation from Pharaoh's rule, all right, and the hardcore bondage at that point in time, and would have stayed, in a state of salvation had they not gone off. But our people went off, and so forth. History happened, right? So let's get some words here, right? So right here we see Romans 11:26, and it says, "And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob." Now here's a big one, all right? And a lot of people say, well, if all Israel's being saved, what about the 2/3? The 2/3 aren't being saved. Not in a physical sense. No, they're not going to be saved. But this isn't. We also got to realize if we go to Isaiah 45. Nope. If we go to Romans 9:6. Excuse me. Let's bring that over here. It says, Paul states, "Not as though the word of Yahweh hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel." So not all. You got to, just because you are Israel doesn't mean you are Israel. All right, and I know that seems a little insane. It seems a little not psychedelic, but abstract. But Israel is many things. All right, it's a people, a place. All right, it's a people before it's a place. Then it's a place, but also that it's a lifestyle. All right, it's a heritage. Okay, so there are people that are bloodline Israelites. Okay, that are not of Israel. Okay. Or that are not Israel. They're of Israel. Okay, they are of Israel because they are of Israelite lineage. They're of Israelite blood. Their blood on their father's side, all right, on that side goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and most importantly, with the tribes, Jacob. All right, because Jacob is he who which all the tribes were stemmed through. So, because if you just stop at Abraham, you could end up as one of the other Shemitic nations, and you don't want that. You specifically want, or with Isaac. All right, if you stop just with Isaac too, because if you stop with Isaac, you could end up as an Edomite. You don't want that. You specifically want to be the bloodline lineage of through Jacob, because that's Jacob's blood. All right, that means you're an Israelite. If you're just through the lineage of Abraham, you can end up as Shemitic. Just through Isaac, you can end up as an Edomite. Okay, it's Esau, but you want to be through Jacob. All right, so your father goes back to that. That's great. You are of Israel, but are you Israel? All right, are you acting the part? Okay, not just looking the part either, because some people think it's about looking the part either. I got fringes on my dogs. I got fringes on my Crocs. I got fringes on my socks. I got fringes on this box. All right, this ain't no Dr. Seuss ass ministry. All right, where you got to put fringes on everything. No, fringes. All right, are representative of our status as Israelites, all right, through the Lord, but you don't have to wear them all the time. You don't need it. You don't, and you should not wear them when you go to Target. Right? You're just putting a target on your head, man. All right, no pun intended, right? But you're just putting a target on your head when you go to Target, or Walmart, or wherever you happen to be going. I don't care if you're going to 99 cent or wherever the fuck you happen to be going. All right, wearing fringes is just gonna make yourself liable for issues. All right, well we gotta be prepared for that for the Lord. Well, yeah, but you're going, the Lord, yes, we're gonna go through issues, all right, for the Lord, but you're, this is like making an issue for yourself. All right, you're throwing a knife at your foot and say, see, as soon as you cut one of your toes off, see, this is the type of tribulation we're gonna have to go through as Jacob. Well, don't fucking throw a knife at your foot then, dumbass. All right, don't do it. All right, of course we're gonna go through things, but you don't need to stoke the fire. All right, here it is. We already going to go through issues of Jake. You want to make some issues. All right, you want to go up to a white person, hey, fuck you, whitey. Right now you're going to make issues. Well, these are the type of things we're going to go through in this shit. Well, yeah, what you're doing is creating issues. We're already going to have issues. We don't need to create more than we already have, right? And you're creating them, okay? You go on the highways and byways, you're sitting, you're making a lesson. Yeah, wear your garments. Sure, but being in Walmart, for what? For what? And you're showing off, man. You're showing off. It's really just showboating. All right, it's just showboating. That's all it is. You want to be seen. All right, you got that feministic spirit on you, Jake. All right, you want to be seen. Just like a woman wearing her hair out. All right, she want to be seen. All right, and that's fine for women. All right, well, technically hair is supposed to be covered, but I mean, when a woman wants to look nice or smell nice, all right, most prominently they do it for their man. Or if it's a single woman, they do it to be noticed by a man. All right, so they can be gotten. All right, gained. But a man doesn't really have to be showy. Okay, Yahushua wasn't showy. He was austere. All right, very plain in his way of life and dress. Okay, but a lot of jakes have that female spirit. They want to be seen. All right, they want to be seen. And there's a difference between wanting to be seen and then, wearing nice clothes and then getting compliments and stuff. You want to look nice, you want to look nice. Okay, obviously you don't want to look like a bum, but going out there to try to look as purposely flashy as you can, Bishop Nathaniel, that's what you're gonna do. If you look at the garments that GMS wears, and you look at the garments that IUIC wears, see, they call GMS the bum camp. All right, that shows you that that's pride. That's just pride. But you don't need to have fucking Power Ranger costumes. All right, because I'm being for real. Half of your garments don't even look like they're all cloth. They look like a lot of them is polyester and pleather, right? Over here looking like Lord Zed. All right, that's what some of your clothing reminds me of. You're looking like Lord Zed, man. This is Lord Zed from the Power Rangers, specifically this type Lord Zed. Okay, Lord Zed, Master Zed. Power Ranger. Is that the one? Master Zed. Yeah. Specifically this. Right? And then you go and look at IUIC, and I'm not just mocking to mock. I'm saying it looks ridiculous, man. Right? You see all this? That is not... The garments are supposed to be made out of cotton. This cannot be all cotton. Alright? It cannot be all cotton. That looks like leather to me. Okay, it didn't say to make your garments out of leather. Okay, what were biblical garments declared to be made out of? Cotton. All right, or wool. Where we go? Wool, animal skins, and perhaps silk. But we're looking for the scripture. Okay. Border of blue. Let's see. There are specifications to make them. Let me find it. I'll find it. You got the border in blue. There's another one. Regardless, all right. Regardless, Deuteronomy 22:11 states, "Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together," which of course is one of the laws that we can't keep perfectly. But if you're gonna make a biblical garment, all right, the ones that GMS makes are out of 100% cotton, all right, or as much cotton as you can get. These, if I can get a better picture. Come on now. I'm trying to find one of the only one we get. Well, I'll just look at Bishop Nate. Alright, or these ones. Okay. This is not made of any one material. Okay. Like, I don't know if it's 100% real leather. We don't really know what it's made out of, but it ain't made out of cotton. Okay. It ain't made out of cotton. And another thing I wanted to check. Okay, they do have the border of blue. I was just checking. I was like, do they even have the border of blue? They do have it. But yeah, man, this is all extra stuff. Okay, this is extra. This is extra stuff. And anyway, we're getting off topic. But there's a scripture. I thought there was a scripture at least. I could be wrong. That mentioned it being made out of cotton. I know there's one that mentioned sackcloth. Anyway, sackcloth. see. That's another thing it could have been made out of. Sackcloth, Bible material. Well, a lot of people don't do the sackcloth either. It says primarily made from woven goat or camel hair. Okay, it's a coarse, uncomfortable fabric. Okay, but of course they want it to be very comfortable. Okay, this is, you know, something along the line. I bet you would call someone that wore that a bum, though, huh? You know, look at this. Now, GMS's garments look more akin to this. Okay, not whatever you got going, flashiness. Okay. See, look at this. This is more what it looks like that GMS wears. These type of garments. Okay, not the flashy Master Z. All right. Type of garment that IUIC's got going on. I mean, look at the Power Rangers. Does it not look like what they're wearing? I'm not mocking. I'm just stating a fact. That's what it looks like. It's ridiculous, and it's overboard, and it's meant to be overboard because it's meant to catch the eye. All right, the eye catch camp. All right, that's IUIC. That's what they do. They like to catch your eye. The camp of theatrics. All right, just a Hebrew Israelite version of the fucking Ringling Bros. All right, that's it. So Romans 11:26. It says, and so all Israel shall be saved. Because we got Roman 9, now you know that not all Israel's of Israel. IUIC is a perfect example of that. They're making, making flashy looks, all right, to entice people by look and not through the word of the Lord. All right, on top of that, they're making the Father's house a house of merchandise, okay, because they're selling breakdowns and bug out bags and all sorts of different dumb shit, beard oils and soaps and shirts and t-shirts and hoodies. But I don't think they have hoodies, but they might. Hell, I don't know. But yeah, man. So but Israel, fuck you. Romans 11:26, and so all Israel shall be saved. Does this mean every single Israelite is going to be saved? No. Now, in a sense, you know, all Israelites are going to be not saved in a traditional sense that we think, but they'll be in the kingdom and delivered and have everything and forever to enjoy it. Even the 2/3, they're gonna have a period of remorse. All right, but they'll eventually have everything and forever to enjoy it. Not quite on the same level as the elect, but I mean, you won't be able to complain. I mean, it's just like seeing someone with a 4-story mansion, and then you yourself have a 2 or 3-story mansion. I mean, you're doing good. You're doing good. You might not be quite at that, but you'll be doing good. All right. So I mean, and to be all fairness, you know, the 144,000 is going to be, you know, a little bit over the elect as well. Okay, there's tiers to it. All right, you're not going to be in poverty. You're not going to be suffering. You're not going to be longing and wishing you had what they had. All right, for all eternity. No. All right. But again, the 2/3 are going to have a period of you know, they're going to realize they fucked up. Right. So if you want to consider that salvation, I mean, but they're going to have to die on this side, so they won't be saved in that regard. In the long run, yes, technically they will have salvation from the woes and miseries that, you know, they had to suffer on this side. All right, like all Jake, but they're not going to be saved from the imminent destruction that's coming, if that makes any sense. Right. So all Israel shall be saved. And in this case, it's really all Israel who is of Israel. Okay. Yeah, really the elect. All right, and so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. So there you go, one talking about Israel being saved. Another one is Isaiah 45:17, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Again, you know, it's going to last forever. You have everything and forever to enjoy it. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end. Okay. So the two that we've got already have already talked about Israel. So Israel, salvation is for Israel also. All right, you see these Edomites, all right, that are saying, "Oh, I've been saved. All right, no, you haven't. All right, first, and you can't be saved. You haven't been saved. All right, and you cannot be saved. All right, now a Jake that was saying that. All right, that's in the church. No, you have not be saved. But if you repent and come out of that, you have a potential, the potential ability to be saved if you're part of the elect. A heathen, they can't be saved. All right, you are not saved and will never be saved. Jake saying they're saved, you are not saved currently, but you will potentially be saved in the future if you are of the elect. Okay. So, and again, we're not talking about the overall thought of salvation as in being in the kingdom as Israelites and everything and forever enjoy it, but salvation most primarily is talking about, you know, saved as in from the destruction, as the word sozo. All right, and this is in the Hebrew. we're gonna get that, but I wanted to get here it is in Romans. We're going back into it. Sozo or sozo means to make whole, all right, or to save, to keep safe and sound, or rescue from danger. You haven't been rescued from danger yet. Okay, you could say you repented and all, yes, and potentially you have been, Lord willing, saved, all right, from the coming destruction, but you won't know, all right, for sure until Yahushua comes back. So you can't really say you're saved. Okay, it's the same reason we can't say we are of the elect. Do we have qualities of the elect? Yes. All right. Do we hope we're of the elect? Yes. Is it a good chance that we're of the elect? Yes. Are we of the elect? We don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. Lord willing, we are. Okay. It's like the scripture says, if anything, let anything be said, if the Lord wills it, we shall do this or that, roughly paraphrasing. So Lord willing, if it's in the Lord's will that we're of the elect, we will be of the elect. But Lord willing, we are, because we don't know. All right, we don't have, the game plan from Yahweh Shem Shai. He gave us some of the script, but he didn't give us the game results. All right, all of them. He gave some, all right, about how the kingdom's going to go, but it didn't give the roster. All right, it didn't give us the roster. He just said there's going to be this many players, all right, and they're going to be from Israel, but we don't have the names, man. All right, we don't have the full roster. We don't know the names. We can't tell you, oh, here's this brother so and so, and he's of the elect. We don't know that yet. All right. Now you'll hear the apostles say from time to time of Great Millstone. Again, I'm not in GMS, but that's who I learned from. I recommend to do the same if you want to learn something. If you don't want to learn something, there's a whole bunch more camps. Just choose any besides GMS, and you'll be set and straight. And well, rest assured that you won't learn shit. All right. So choose any other one. If you want to learn the least, I'd probably go to ISUPK if you wanted to learn the least. All right. Because you can't say Al-Azhar, and you can't say Deacon Akah on them, because they're not Hebrew Israelites no more. They're just Christians, I guess, or whatever they want to call themselves, right? So yeah, man. If you go over to ISUPK, you won't get the knowledge of this truth and this understanding in a full capacity. You'll be left out in the dark, but you will get to keep being a hood rat, and you'll get some boxing lessons from. So there you go. It's just ridiculous, man. If you want the truth, stay with GMS. All right, that's what I've done. Call Yahweh Shem Shai for that. All right, that's where I learned from. You should do the same if you want to learn. But yeah, man. So where was I? Kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, man. Where were we? Anyway, we're just gonna start up another way, because I forgot my train of thought, or lost my train of thought. So yeah, a lot of these people saying, "Oh, I've been saved. They haven't been saved yet, right? That's like saying I've been fed and you haven't been. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about the apostles and elders of GMS. When they say, a lot of time you'll hear them say, call out Yahweh Shem Shai. I remember what I was talking about. You'll hear them say, I'd be very surprised if that brother wasn't a man of the Lord, meaning, wasn't of the elect. Okay, be very surprised, because certain brothers you see are especially astute or not devoted, but diligent, devoted as well, but diligent. All right, and they're like, I'd be very surprised if the apostles weren't men of the Lord. I mean, that would be something that would surprise me, because obviously it looks like they are. Okay, I'd be surprised if Elder Menata Zakba wasn't. I'd be surprised if, just about all the brothers I watch, I'd be surprised, because they're very astute, they're very diligent. All right, they're in season and out of season, right? If I didn't think they had a chance, I wouldn't be watching them, right? So yeah, man. Romans 10 and 13, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. All right, now this is one that they use a lot. They say, see, if you call upon the Lord's name, you'll be saved. Well, this has a deeper meaning to it, right? Let's see. And they'll see, they like that because right up in 12, there is no difference between Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him. In this case, you see that the hint here is that all that call upon him. So if there's a Greek that's calling upon Yahweh Shem Shai, we know that the name of the heathen is dreadful, or the name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathen. You can look that up, dreadful among the heathen. They're not going to say it. They're not going to be speaking it. All right, they might say it, but they're not going to say it in true sincerity. Malachi 1:14, it says, but cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. So it's dreadful. What does dreadful mean? A thing inspiring dread, all right, causing great suffering, fear, unhappiness, extremely bad or serious. So if something was very bad or very serious and dreadful and makes you sorrow, are you going to say it? Are you going to call it? No, you're not. You're not going to be calling upon it. You might hear him say it mockingly, all right, or in reference, but they're never going to call upon it. And half of the time, they don't even like to say it in reference or mockingly half of the time, because they just don't like the name at all, right? Showing you who they are. But that's why they like this, is because of 12. So, but that's obviously talking about the lost sheep of Israel. As Yahushua said, I have come to deliver the lost sheep of Israel. Okay, not so people say, see, he was delivering on. He was looking for the lost sheep of Israel that somewhere amongst the Greeks, somewhere amongst the Romans and other places. All right. So Romans, Ephesians, was dealing with the Israelites in Rome or Ephesus. All right, that's who it was written for, not the heathens in dwelling there. No. All right. Again, a tale as old as time. All right. Esau, not primarily Esau, but Jake as well, not understanding that these were not Gentiles in a sense of bloodline, but they were called as unto Gentiles because they happened to be dwelling in the land of Gentiles. They were called as Gentiles. They were called as Greeks. They were called as Romans. All right. Meanwhile, their father's paternal lineage, they go back to Abraham, Isaac, and most importantly in the chain, Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob, because Jacob is where the 12 tribes of Israel came through. Not the other men. Those other men are not important, but it's important for you to be through the line of Jacob. All right, or else you're not going to be a Jake. All right, hence the name. So, yeah, man. So, in this case, whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. If we go and get it, right here in verse 14, it says, how then shall they call on him? How can they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? So there's another thing. How shall you hear without a preacher? You say, well, I don't need a man to teach me. Well, how are you going to hear without a preacher, man? How? What are you going to do? Tell us your big plan, right? And verse 15, and how shall they preach except they be sent? By who? By who are they sent? Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, as it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. Okay? So, whosoever shall be called, going back to 13, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved, all right, means getting helped out of a situation. Now, what is that situation? Again, it goes back to the word sozo, or sozo, okay, sozo, so help from a peril, all right, a destruction. Now, it can be imminent, it can be something that, again, you have a illness that's causing death, you can be delivered from that by calling on the name of the Lord, or it can also refer to in the future, all right, saved as in salvation, all right, from the destruction, the great destruction that's going to happen. But Christians don't really differentiate it. They just say, oh, I'm saved. From what? You could say you were saved from the use of drugs. Okay, you were delivered from that demon. Okay, you were saved from that. But you can't say in general, just a blanket term, I'm saved. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean you're saved? I'm saved. In Jesus Christ, I'm saved. From what? From what? Okay? And again, I got these two. It says, Christianity says, is there a difference between being saved and salvation? I believe that being saved refers to being sanctified or being set aside for salvation by the Lord. Wrong. See, that's what Christians talk about. And that salvation is the final step in the process of sanctification, when one fully becomes a part of God's spiritual family by being transformed into an eternal spirit or being. What are you talking about? All right, and the way they're saying that even sounds bugged out. In a sense, yes, you're going to be translated. All right, you're going to be upgraded from one body to the next. All right, and be eternally with Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the kingdom. All right, but right here it says salvation is effectively completed the moment of salvation, which is when you believe. So salvation is whenever you believe. You believed in salvation, boom, you're done. right? They quote 1 Corinthians 1:21. It says, "You are positionally shot up into the heavenly realm where Christ sits at the right hand of God. But your condition is a very different story. It's a process of sanctification built off a reckoning of spiritual blah, 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 blah." I'm not going to read it. If you want to pause and read it, all right. He already went off with the first thing he said. All right. Salvation is completed at the moment of salvation when you believe. You haven't been saved. You haven't been saved, right? Saved or not saved. So what is it? And you're going to go down here. It says, let's simplify things. You can pause if you want to read his whole thing. It's, a lot. All right. Well, actually, let's read it. It says, he said, "I never knew how much actual division there was in the church. I'm legitimately terrified. It's not even a minor thing like being fundamentalist or etc. It's salvation. We got people saying you can lose salvation. Even believers will be cast into hell. No, just believe Jesus and you're saved. No, unless you're sinless, Jesus will deny you. People who legitimately believe they're saved will have a rude awakening when they find themselves in the lake of fire," or statements like, "If you're involved with so-and-so denomination, that's too bad because it's the doctrine of demons. Trinity is a deception. Oh no, if you believe he's not one, you're screwed." That's because, look, I'm not gonna even read none of this. This summed everything up. Christians don't fucking know nothing, man. They don't know anything. It's just a constant arguing, bickering because they don't know, man. They don't know. You can't lose salvation because salvation means you were delivered. Okay? You can't lose salvation. You're either going to be saved or you're not. We'll find out when that time comes, all right? Say if a car almost hit you and you prayed and you were saved from that. You were either saved and you didn't get hit, or you weren't saved and you got hit and you died, or were severely injured. There you go. Even believers will be cast into hell. Hell doesn't exist in the modern sense, all right? Gehenna means a place of future punishment, all right? The place of death, all right? The grave, okay? You're talking about, Dante's Inferno, which is not fucking accurate at all. That's a different book and it's not biblical. Okay, but even believers will be put to death. Yeah, some will, because not all that say Lord, Lord, right? And this doesn't mean not physically being there, but being translated as in not tasting of death. Matthew 7:21. "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter in the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven." That's plain. It's right there in scripture, and you can't get it. You can't get it because it's not for you to get, okay? But Isaiah 45:17, showing you that those two Reddit posts show you that Christians think that, salvation, as soon as you pray and you believe, you're saved. You're not saved yet. From what? What have you been saved from? What? A life of sin? You're still sinning. What have you been saved from? Death? What death? The death to come? You haven't been saved from it then yet because it's yet to come. Once it's come and you've overcame that through Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai, now you're saved. Okay? Harmageddon, or Armageddon as they say, Judgment Day, Yahushai's return, all right, has not came yet. So you don't know if you're going to be saved in that situation or not yet. You're not delivered from that situation yet. Okay? We don't know. All right? The remnant. Who's the remnant? All right? The elect. But how are we going to know until they're delivered? All right, that's how we know is who the remnant are, the ones that remain. Those are the ones that are the remnant, the ones that remain of the 1/3, including the 144,000. Those are the ones that were saved. They saw salvation because they were saved from what? The death. All right, that day of reckoning and judgment of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai. All right, that's when you're saved. Christians, they don't get it, man. They don't get it. So Isaiah 45:17, "But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end." So saved here, this is in the Hebrew. This is the word salvation, and it means what? Deliverance. Okay, deliverance usually by Yahweh through human agency, salvation. Okay, deliverance, help, safety, salvation. All right, deliverance from what though? From what? What are you being delivered from? What are you being delivered from? Okay? Has it happened already and you were saved? All right? Or is it something yet to come and you have not yet been saved from it, i.e., you're not yet saved? Okay? Are we saved? No, we're not saved. All right? We haven't been saved yet. We've been saved from some things, okay? But we have not been delivered yet. We have not been taken out of Babylon, America, specifically United States, okay? And been delivered, all right, into the chariots and eventually delivered unto Israel again. That has not happened, so we are not saved yet. We have not been delivered yet. We are not the remnant yet because the other people have not died. There's none to remain because all remain currently because none have started to be getting culled off. The culling has not happened, so there is no remnant to speak of currently other than the elect that will be the remnant. Okay, you getting it? I know it seems a little deep, but the elect, those are the ones that are not going to taste of death. Those are the ones that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to protect. All right, they're going to be brought up into the chariots in the day of judgment. All right, and they're going to be the remnant because all the rest were killed, and they are the remnant. Okay, remnant, the remaining one, the remaining few. Okay, and in that case, when they're on the chariot, Lord willing, when we're on the chariot, we will have been saved. We will have tasted of deliverance. Okay? For example, Hebrews, all right, that were in Egypt were delivered out of that. They're not still there. Okay? They came out of it. They were delivered from that situation. They were delivered from Pharaoh. They were saved. Salvation. All right? Yahweh at the time brought them out. And that was it. They were saved. They were saved from that situation. The great day of death and judgment has not happened yet, so none of us been saved from it yet. Get it? Probably not. Ephesians 2:8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of Yahweh. Now we get this because we're not, we have nothing to do, all right, with if we're saved or not. Okay, that's all through faith. Okay, by grace ye saved through faith. Does that mean instantly I'm saved? No, that doesn't mean it. All right, by grace are you saved through faith. So we're saved by grace. All right, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai saves us through grace. All right, through faith, not of anything that we do. All right, as it says in 9. All right, not of works, lest any man should boast. All right, nothing that you do. Well, I believed. That's not what it's about. All right, by grace are you saved through faith. Okay, which correlates, yes, in turn to believing, but most prominently by grace. All right, it's the grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and of course saved through faith, and in quote unquote what you would say believing, because that faith is believing. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, roughly paraphrasing. But if you truly have faith or not, that's all through the grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, if you are of the elect or not. Okay, so only the elect are truly going to have faith like that, and in turn, the only ones that are going to taste of grace. Okay, get it? So yeah, man, no one's been saved yet. No one's been saved yet. Everyone, I'm been saved. I've been saved. No, you haven't. Not yet. You haven't. You haven't been saved yet. No, you have not. All right. Your salvation is yet to come if you're of Israel. All right, and most prominently of the elect. If you're not, you ain't getting saved. Simple as that. So that's a lesson. All right, salvation, saved, or saved/salvation. What does it really mean? And now you know. All right, it means deliverance from a deadly situation. All right, a doom or destruction that will occur. Okay, and you haven't been saved yet because the big destruction has not happened yet. Certain things that you might have killed you, yeah, you were saved from that. But most of the time when people say I'm saved, that means you're good. You're good with God, and He's gonna get you, and you're gonna go into heaven forever and ever and ever. Not yet. You're not. Okay, if you're of the elect, technically, have you been preemptively marked for salvation? Yes. All right, this one's getting saved, but we don't know who's who. Okay. We don't know who's who. So, and even the elect, even though they got that stamp of salvation to come, it hasn't came yet. Okay? They just got the pass that says they're going to be not touched in that day. Okay? They haven't been saved yet. They've just been, essentially, not that you can buy it, they've been given the tickets, all right, to the chariot. All right? They've got their tickets, okay, but they just haven't used them yet. All right, when you get your tickets at a concert or a movie, you haven't used them yet if you haven't gone to the movie. So some have their tickets, but the movie has not started yet. Okay? The movie has not started yet. All right? And what the movie is when Yahushua comes back, all right, and deads this place and destroys all the other people except the elect. All right? And then very few heathen that are going to be essentially wrapped up and packaged in saran wrap to go into captivity as the first servants, all right, under the freshly saved elect. All right? And Yahushua, most importantly. So yeah, that's it. That's where we're going to close out. Lord, what was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing. Shalom.